So here's a short video of the Scangauge 2. It's a true lifesaver when you own a 6-liter Ford, and maybe many other vehicles too, I'm not certain. You have to program these parameters in there, and you can find on YouTube real easy how to find that. It's not difficult at all. But with the Scangauge number 2, it tells your Fickum sink, your ICP pressure, your IPR percentage, and your main Fickum power. And on a previous video, I explained how I had trouble with this truck, and I had a broken wire on my ICP sensor. If I would have had this gauge, I would have known right away that when my truck was running, or key on, engine off, I could have measured, I'm just scrolling through it now, my ICP voltage. And when your key is on, your engine off, it has to be about 1/4 of a volt. Like, it's endless the gauges you can put in here. There's my ICP voltage. Right now it's 0.74 or 0.86 volts because the engine is running. But I'll show you quick, like, I'll shut the truck off here. Like, this truck was acting up as if it didn't get no fuel. And that was not the problem. So now I turn my ignition back on. We want to see for ICP voltage about 1/4 of a volt, and our ICP pressure has to be 0. If it is not 0, your ICP sensor will tell your computer a different value than what it actually is. So now when your engine runs, your computer may think that you got 550 pounds, but if your ICP pressure reaches 200, key on, engine off, you actually have only 300 and some pounds. And that's what was happening to this truck with a broken wire. So we fixed the wire, and in the meanwhile, while I did that, I started replacing a whole bunch of stuff, filters and IPR valve, and I stuck a new ICP sensor. And little did I know that the brand new ICP sensor was faulty. And yeah, I read 200 pounds, key on, engine off. So therefore it would never start. The computer told the IPR valve to stay at 14.8 or 15 because we had enough pressure for the engine to start. Reality was there was not nearly enough. So now I'm going to start the truck again, and you'll see it fires right up. The IPR valve's at 25%, and it just wants to keep that ICP pressure somewhere close to 600. Sometimes it goes over, sometimes it's under a little bit. And as soon as the engine runs, you can use another gauge than your ICP voltage, because you know your ICP value is all right. There's no reason to any longer look at your voltage. So then you want to check for Fickum sink or whatever you want to put in that corner gauge. I hope I helped you guys out.